stood still for too long. The futures I never entered call my name from somewhere in the dark. When I was younger, the world looked like an endless map. Every road was open, every dream within reach. But the wider the horizon grew, the heavier my footsteps became. Because every direction I followed buried 1,000 others beneath it. I kept moving forward without realizing I was leaving entire lives behind. Every choice is a quiet funeral for the virgins of ourselves that never get to exist. The weight of unchosen lives settle slowly on my shoulders. Ghosts of forgotten futures follow me through the night. I wanted freedom, but freedom became an endless crossroads surrounded by open doors. I lose my way. Everyone on my screen looks like they've already arrived, like they found the answer, while I'm still tracing out lines across a map that never ends. A victory shines so brightly that the failures disappear. And I compare my unfinished journey to someone else's final scene until I can barely hear my own voice anymore. If I had moved faster, if I had turned another way, the questions echo endlessly through roads that no longer exist. The weight of unchosen lives settle slowly on my shoulders. All the selves I could have been rise like waves beneath black water. I wanted freedom, but freedom carried its own chains, surrounded by open doors. I'm searching for myself. The sky never answers, the stars reveal no design. Meaning does not wait for us at the end of a perfect path. Maybe purpose is nothing more than a mark left behind by trembling hands refusing to disappear. I cannot live every life, I cannot protect every dream. One heart, one body, one direction at a time. Regret remains an unavoidable shadow, following every step I take. The weight of unchosen lives still lives somewhere inside me, but I no longer mistake it for proof that I have failed. Beneath the sky without answers, I continue
slow tide, drawing lines again without knowing why. You say it's black, I say it's white. Different words for the same sleepless night. Looking for answers in a world too wide. Building little borders just to feel alright. But when the city falls asleep and the moonlight floods the sky, all the colors start to blur, all the reasons start to hide. We're drifting on a sea of gray, carried by the same old waves, acting like we're worlds apart, while we're scared in the same way. Slowly moving to the same horizon, though we can't see it yet. Maybe all that's left between us is a feel we haven't named. Every time I point a finger, I lose sight of what's inside, trying hard to look unshaken, while my doubts have nowhere to hide. Wearing certainty like armor, holding tight to what I know, but underneath the quiet surface, the same lonely currents flow. Nobody owns the whole truth, nobody holds every key. We're just learning as we're moving through the spaces in between. We're drifting on a sea of gray, carried by the same old waves, acting like we're worlds apart, while we're scared in the same way. Slowly moving to the same horizon, though we can't see it yet. Maybe all that's left between us is a feel we haven't named. Black and white, faked into the moonlight, all the hidden parts of us spilling into open tides. No enemies tonight, just souls looking for light. A little closer now, a little less afraid. We're drifting on a sea of gray, singing through the noise we've made. Different voices, different stories, finding harmony in the waves. Even when we collide, the current pulls us side by side, and when the morning finally comes, we'll know we were never divided. Sea of gray, reflections in the tide. Slow tide, you and I belong. We crossed the same night, but we were never beneath the same stars. Some were born where the light could fall, some where the shadows never left. Somewhere between them, we were learning how to breathe.
Some could afford to look beyond the horizon and build a future in their minds. Some spent every ounce of strength simply surviving another day. We carry the same
We spoke the same dreams, yet stood upon different ground. Invisible hands shape the roads before us. Birthplaces, circumstances, and nameless accidents quietly pushed us toward different skies. Still, to be shaken is not the same as stopping upon the orbit of a tilted star. We keep moving as we fall through collapsing nights, through the weight of unfinished answers. We hold on to the fading light. The world was never fair, yet our hearts keep beating anyway toward a tomorrow no one ever promised. We rise and walk again. People of the outcome, they remember the moment of glory and forget the years of silence. Success becomes a story of talent, failure becomes a story of blame. Yet countless tides, coincidences, and unseen currents vanish without a trace. Life is always worn a face more complicated than explanation. Nothing is completely decided. Nothing is completely free. Between fate and choice, we stack small decisions upon fragile foundations. One step, another, even on nights when nothing seems to change. A direction is being formed beneath our feet. Upon the orbit of a tilted star, we draw our own sky. Beyond the walls we never chose, beyond the weight we never named, we leave behind a light that will not disappear. Even if the world never offers an answer, we rise because we are alive. We breathe again, we begin again, we move forward again. Effort was never a key that could unlock the entire world. It is the force that teaches a broken heart to move once more. Dawn was never guaranteed. Still, we walk toward the direction where the light might come. Neon bleeding through the rain, silver echoes on the glass. Every light becomes a story, every shadow leaves a path. banners change without a sound. No thunder, no collapse, just another name where mine used to be. The years I spent building these walls now stand beneath a younger sky. They move like rivers I once believed I'd become. Fearless, effortless, endless. And for a moment I mistook their rising for my ending. But every sunset knows a secret. Darkness is not the same as death. So let the old drums call my name across the valleys of forgotten days. I am not the king I used to be, but I am more than yesterday. The road goes on beyond the applause, beyond the crowns we leave behind, and somewhere past the end of my season, another life begins. I no longer chase the fastest feet. I've learned that storms do not ask permission. The world keeps turning without my hands upon the wheel. Yet still there are mountains left to climb, questions left to ask, songs left to sing. What survives the years is never glory. It is the fire that refuses to light. So let the old drums call my name across the valleys of forgotten days. I am not the man I dreamed I'd be, but I am stronger than my fears. The road goes on beyond defeat, beyond the shadows at my heels, and somewhere past the end of my season, another life begins. I stood where legends disappear, where echoes fade into the wind, and there I found no tragedy, only a gate I had mistaken for a wall. The young will run ahead, they should, that was always the way. But I still have miles inside my bones and stars I haven't followed yet. The crown is gone, the fire remains, the season past, the journey stays. Hey, hey, hey.
System online. Forecast unavailable. Future not found. Hope EXE initiated.
The numbers paint a perfect warning. Every outcome points to fear. The odds are stacked against the dream. The signal couldn't be more clear. But something underneath the data refuses every cold command. A spark survives inside the chaos, reaching for an unseen land. We were never built for certainty. We were built to cross the unknown. Maybe reason draws the borders, maybe instinct breaks the walls. Every breakthrough starts as madness before the future finally calls. This is not a flaw, this is survival, a beautiful distortion in the code. We know the risk, we know the fall, still we run into the storm. A glitch inside perception, a fire beneath control. Hope is the defect that keeps the human system whole. History remembers the victors, leaves the broken names behind. Thousands vanished in the darkness, one became a guiding light. Every ocean crossed by dreamers, every engine ever born started as an impossible vision. Everyone else ignored. If we saw the world completely, if we knew the final score, would we build another future or stop moving evermore? This is not a flaw, this is survival, a beautiful distortion in the code. We know the risk, we know the fall, still we run into the storm. A glitch inside perception, a fire beneath control. Hope is the defect that keeps the human system whole.
Logic says, remain where you are. Evolution whispers, go further. Fear says, turn around. I'm running. Heroic chapter. Accepted. Future loading. Beneath a sky that never answers, I count the years inside the stillness. No chains around my hands, no walls before my path, yet I remain unmoving. Only silence remembers my name. From repetition, stone by stone, day after day. The familiar felt like shelter, the known felt like truth, and slowly the horizon disappeared. Tomorrow became a distant myth, a story told by younger ghosts. I simply buried them beneath ordinary days. I did not lose the light, I forgot how to look above. We are the silent constellation. remembers.